Would you grade them personally?
I would definitely grade this Blastoise because of the sentimental value it has to you.
Okay.
And it would stay in this condition forever. If you choose not to, it might go down to a 2 or a 1.
Okay. I'm here with Steven from GradeIt, and I'm here to find out if any of these cards that I brought are actually worth grading. Steven?
Hopefully they are.
I
We're
hope
going to
so.
look at the conditions of your cards.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on the 4 subgrades that the grading companies overseas look at. It's centering. Your card can be skewed. They mass produce these things. They sometimes get it wrong. So that's the first thing we look at. The borders have to be equidistance, equi-width. Okay.
Yep.
Top, bottom, left, right, left. Then we look at the corners. If they're supposed to be round, are they perfectly round? Or have they got a bit of a jagged cut in them? Then we look at the edges. Sometimes when it comes out of the printing press, it gets a bit dinged coming out. So there might be some whitening already. Even though it's packed fresh, it could have enough whitening to even be knocked down to an 8. So no whitening, all good. And the last thing they look at is the surface of the card. Has it got any scratches? Is there like a bit of a printing blemish? Maybe there's some dust on the roll when it's printing and it leaves no ink mark, so it'll be a white patch. Or there could be too much ink and be a black mark there. So those are the 4 subcategories. And if all of them are 10s, your card's going to come back a 10. If 2 or 3 are a 9, it's going to come back a 9. That sort of thing.
Okay, cool. Let's go through them.
Let's go through them, man.
So
What have you
I'm
got
gonna
for
leave it.
us? Okay.
I want you to have.
The blind reveal. Let's have a look at the
let's have a
first
look.
one here. I can look on the back first. It looks like there's a little bit of a blemish there, but that might actually just be in the sleeve. So I'm gonna have a look inside there because that looks a bit worrying. There's another little dot over there. We're gonna have a look at that. Hopefully also just in the sleeve. Then we got a nice little Mega Gengar EX. First thing I look at is this border here. You see the gray border? It's got to match the other border there. And this border looks a little bit skinnier than this border. So it's slightly off center. BGS needs the ratio to be 51 to 49. But this looks about that. It's very, very close.
It's actually pretty tough to like call. Like
It is tough to call with your eyes. There are apps that do help you. But I'm getting really good with my eyes. I've been doing this for like
That's
5,
mad
6
impressive,
years.
actually.
So then the top is also a little bit heavy compared to the bottom. You have to really look for where that border is, but this looks a bit skinnier than the top. Okay. Surface, I'm gonna judge like it should be pretty clean. These textured cards, very hard to scratch. But some of them have the smooth hollow foiling to them. Those scratch very easily.
That makes sense.
Then there's no whitening, the edges look good, the corners are cut perfectly. So I'm going to take it out of the sleeve now, and then we're going to have a proper look at it. So you hold this
Okay,
for me.
cool.
We get in there without damaging it, obviously. I'll pull them out. Here it comes. Get rid of the sleeve. Now this is where you want to be really careful with it. Obviously just touch it on the sides, because you don't want to leave any fingerprints on the card. So that little mark there and there, it's gone. It's definitely just on the sleeve. This looks like a PSA 10 candidate. From BGS or CGC, we want it to be ultra perfect because they've got a pristine 10 grade.
Okay.
All 4 subgrades have to be 10s to get a special label.
So if you miss one, then
In
it's.
this one, it will come back at 10, but not a pristine 10.
Oh, okay.
So this almost looks like a BGS black label except for that border issue. So I
Okay,
would send
cool.
it to PSA, get a guaranteed 10 and get some value gain. Now let's look at one more card here.
Can I give you one to look at?
Yeah.
Let's see, like.
Let's see what his favorite card
Okay,
is.
just hang on. So there's one from a much older set.
Okay, so this one might have some
Pull that out.
damage. Cool.
So
Okay, so we got some Neo cards here. This one's the Neo for Alligator. And this one, base set Blastoise, signed by Veronica Taylor. Yeah, that's a great talking point right there. Okay, so this, I think it's Neo Genesis for Alligator. Let's have a look. I'm going to take them straight out because I know that there will be some damage on it. Some wear and tear over the 20 years that it's been out. Probably hasn't even come out of that sleeve in a while. Okay, so I can see a little bit of vertical scratches there, going this way. You got to kind of move it around in the light to catch all the little blemishes.
I see it now.
Okay, so that's there. There's a little black dot on this edge here. You might be able to just rub it off. If it doesn't come off easily, it might be there forever. And there might be a little blemish there, but it could be either grime or like a little indent from maybe just the pressure of being kept in a binder for many years. If there's a tiny bit of dust, it'll leave a little impression, right? Okay, so then let's look at the centering here. Also a little bit left, heavy, right side a little bit thin. Top, bottom, not bad, but the bottom is a little bit thicker. I would say that's still within PSA 10 criteria for the centering. Surface is looking more or less like an 8 or a 7 based on the front. Now we can go to the back and we're seeing a little white mark there.
I saw that.
Just having a nice little close look here, getting the light to go over the full surface of the card. I don't see many issues with the back surface. Sometimes there's a lot of grime over the years. It looks like black dots.
I've seen that. I have that with actually like a few of my older cards we can look at like after this.
If your binder is a bit exposed to the elements, dust gets in there and it just builds up and gets really grimy. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't grade this, because this might come back a 7 or an 8.
And I know like the Neo stuff is quite rare like these days.
Yeah. So even a 7 or an 8 with this, it might go up in value. I would still call this card near mint. A lot of people like to use the abbreviations NN, LP, MP, HP. It stands for near mint. Lightly played, medium played, heavily played.
Yeah, the damage.
Damaged if it's like been bent in half, right? So that affects the price as a raw card. It's the same for the graded. The lower down the rankings you go, the lower the value. So this one, you can look it up on various different apps, but it all gathers its data from eBay sold listing. So collector, price charting, they all gather from eBay sold listings. You can just go on there, use the
check it out, yeah.
Get it yourself, right? Okay.
So worth grading, definitely.
It all depends on, like, you have to look up the near mint price for this, then look up a PSA price and kind of see the difference between it. It costs roughly 750 Rand to grade a card.
So you have to like weigh it out.
So you just do a little formula, find out whether it's worthwhile sending.
Okay, cool.
Now this Blastoise, a fan favorite, big man Blastoise, for a lot of people.
It's even in the like an old school.
The oldest sleeve I've ever seen here, so I'm gonna give it a nice brand new sleeve.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so that'll go in there afterwards. So this one, let's see, it's got a lot more scratches than the other one. A lot of little horizontal, tiny hairline scratches. From afar, I can't see it. Get the light on it. Get the right angle, and those things start coming out.
I know.
Yeah?
No, I was gonna say, like, I know this one. I like. So we interviewed Veronica, what was it, like 3 years ago at Comic-Con, and I was like, that Blastoise is finished. So I was like, you know what? I might as well get it signed because
make it extra special. Why not?
Yeah.
Man? So here's that grime I'm talking about. Little black marks and stuff all over the card. Little impressions here and there. And here's what we call a crease.
Yeah, I saw that.
So this is
that's damage.
The light nicely there. That I would call damage, right? Because at some point somebody has gone and creased it, and that's almost there to stay. Some people start restoring cards, and they can get rid of some things. Creases are one of the most difficult things to get rid of.
The question is, could it get a PSA 1?
Not in this state. It would be higher than that. it might even get like a 2 or a 3 in this state.
Really?
Yeah, it's got some damage and stuff, but like a 1 literally needs to be
bent in half almost.
Scratched to oblivion, bent in half, torn. They will always give it a grade, and that will be a 1.
Okay.
So they reserve a 1 for like.
It's got to be through the war, so that's why ones have become so pricey.
A PSA 3, and then you can grade signatures as well. So depending on like like imagine you had smudged that signature, right? It's going to get a lower grade. If she used a pen and it ran out of ink halfway, it would get a lower grade. This one's pretty clean, not much going wrong with it. The V initially, maybe there wasn't enough ink initially, so they might give the signature like a 9.
Okay.
So they might get a grade for the card as a 3, and then the signature would get a 9.
Okay, cool.
If you had to send it in, yeah. So that's the advice I can give you. Obviously, it all comes down to what they feel like on the day, so it can vary.
Would you grade them personally?
I would definitely grade this Blastoise because of the sentimental value it has to you.
Okay.
And it would stay in this condition forever. If you choose not to, it might go down to a 2 or a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because you might drop it, your kids might play with it, who knows, right? It's going to go all over the place.
Okay, cool.
Go down in value.
Never know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
worries, dude.
Guys, come check out GradeIt if you need like any cards, TCGs, and like if you need stuff graded as well, like we can come through to you guys.
100%. We do cards, comics, coins, Funkos. You can get put it encased. They don't grade the Funkos anymore, but they do authenticate them with the signature. It's very expensive for Funkos because of the shipping. South Africa, shipping all the way to the States. Big items cost a lot of money.
Makes
so
sense.
Funkos are quite expensive, but comics, cards, coins, ticket stubs, all sorts of random stuff, man. We grade it all. VHS tapes, games, Nintendo games, games that are sealed that no one's played before. They go up in value massively.
Thank you so much, man.
No worries,
I really
it's been
appreciate
really
it.
fun. Cheers, dude.